Be careful who you click with. This is an audio article brought to you by me, Jennifer Dr. J. Thibeaux, on the Dr. J blog, which you can find at jenniferthibeaux.com. Let's get into it. I was literally drinking my morning tea and reading the latest in a few business journals I subscribe to when my eyes fell upon the words, Twitter women. At first sight, I was faced with a rush of emotions, intrigue, offense, and wait just a darn minute. Yes, that's exactly how my brain thinks in that order. But seriously though, those two words were not the subject of the story, but it became my entire world in my head. Real people versus social media people. That's in essence what the article was addressing, the reaction to an event from a demographic expressed on Twitter. But the underlying theme of the story was doubt that the sentiments expressed on the social media giant was nothing more than a position people take when the light is not shining on them. Make sense? Well, not to me, so let's dig a little bit deeper. Cyber thuggin' for lovin'. Let that sink in. It's more than orally rhythmic. It's what's driving a ton of bad behavior on social media. People want to connect. They may go about it differently or even illegally, but people need people. And when connections are sparse, sometimes people take action to shock the conscience in order to get the attention, the people connection they desire. Cyber thuggish behavior is not healthy and begins to unravel our society built on rules, laws, and ideals. Thug, the hate you give, is the acronym we learned about from Tupac, movies, and others. Living a thug life is a life embroiled in negative emotion leading a person. When thugs began working through the internet and social media, the game changed and the door opened widely. Many in the real world would never join a gang in their neighborhood, but they get recruited, join, or even form their own cyber gang. People with regular jobs, with benefits, who have no business thugging out their life are members of cyber groups whose mission, chatter, and activities all focus on a person's downfall. Social media offers anonymity to the downfall of us all. You can create or recreate your life, your look, hello filters, and even events that you did or did not attend. People may live in small towns, but can make it look like they are the fifth friend in Sex and the City. Oh, the glamour that is lived on social media is undefeated. If you are inclined to believe the hype, and Flavor Flav warned us a long time ago not to, now you get sucked into this false world created by a person who may be a stranger to you. Have we been in alternate reality longer than we understand? I think so. And we didn't even need those clunky headsets. I've been called to evaluate many social media interactions over the years to gain a better understanding of the psychology driving the comments and social behaviors. One thing is certain. When a social media user who is pretending to be something they're not gets someone on the hook, they can literally convince the user of anything. I've studied legions of groups who form from social media. People who feel they know the leader and would do anything for them. This is where it gets dicey. With power comes responsibility. The problem is the false narratives were created irresponsibly, so the train has already left the station. Getting caught up can lead to getting caught. As this monster of alternate reality grows with ideas and people following those ideas, a new event occurs. People start taking action. Take me, for example. I'm an author who writes constantly. At this stage of my career, I get that not all people love my work. Imagine that. No, kidding. Seriously, though, there are patterns my team looks for to understand the actions taken to read my work and get closer to me. I'm guarded in that sense that I want folks to remain in the real world as they digest my work. When people begin fantasizing in a good or bad way, nothing good comes of the next steps. I've watched my books being purchased from groups who were just there to find the fault in the books. A book sale is a book sale, right? Well, I think the danger in this activity is when strangers group together and begin taking actions that become very cyber mob-like. Reality TV show idea, The Real Cyber Mob Wives. How about that? Okay, so someone may need to check my tea this morning, but the drama generated by cyber mobs can probably fill a TV show for decades. This type of show would sell because it sells on a daily basis. People dedicating more and more time to manipulating relationships online for the purpose of leading the unsuspecting social media user into their unreality world. That's the formula. I've worked as a consultant to a popular reality TV show. Cat out the bag, those shows are loosely scripted, castmates are directed to be a certain figure, and scenes are shot in multiple ways until a production company can nail down the best pathway for the drama. The good news for the Candy and Nenes of the world, they get paid to showcase the drama. Cyber mobs do it for free. Yeah, I'm a businesswoman. For free? You mean to tell me with 24 hours in the day, you would choose to spend a portion of it, a large portion, to an activity that will not compensate you? The algorithm has clearly gotten people twisted in the game. There is danger ahead when we move to the beat of the algorithm. Most don't even realize they've been caught up. They incessantly check social media and users they want to follow. I do mean incessantly. One study I read related to cyberstalking noted that the average cyberstalker reviews their target social media more than 15 times per day. 15. Can you imagine this alternate reality? That's its own job, following someone to see if and what the person posts next. But it doesn't stop there. The cyber mob leader then takes what they find and communicate the unreality to their legion of followers, who are all poised to accept the information given. And some take action. Politicians and celebrities see this play out daily. I've read people wishing death upon others, users wanting to ruin a career of someone, users claiming they hate the person, but they cannot stop watching them. It is a scary time we live in when people feel so comfortable acting in this way at others' expense. The targets of these acts, including yours truly, have had to ramp up security on all fronts to create some much-needed space and distance. Twitter is the unreal world that people bring into their real world. Why do I say that? I get the idea that living in Fantasyland can be fun. As children, most of us played dress up. It was fun to be something or someone we were not. But the real world expects people to live with an understanding of real life and real consequences. When you multiply your following to a target's other accounts, websites, events, etc., you have taken your fantasy world into the real world. I find that those who do that are so far gone that they don't even see what's happening. I've heard of stalkers justifying their following of someone else because they want to make sure their target wasn't doing something to hurt them, the stalker. Yep, you heard that right. The stalker follows their target incessantly because they want to make sure the target is not doing something against them. That's an alternate reality kind of thought, isn't it? And believe it or not, when you get so deep into the rabbit hole of unreality, it makes sense to them. And if they can pull others deeply into the rabbit hole, they now have an audience and green light from others to continue the bad behavior. Twitter fingers and trigger fingers. The rapper Drake talked about this in his infamous rap battle song, Back to Back. I will suggest that trigger fingers can be a metaphor for mental triggers associated with reading words or words from someone else. Bottom line, we each have the power to turn off our devices, televisions, etc. This means that if someone is coming to you with a colorful story about what so-and-so is posting on social media, a person they don't like, perhaps a person they don't even know, be their friend in this moment. Tell them it's time to stop watching the social media of people you don't like. And for good measure, say, it's time to stop encouraging stalker behavior on social media. And I just have to say this. Get yourself out of the cyber mob that you may have gotten mixed up in. The real world is beautiful. I promise you that smelling the roses and being around the people of your choosing is truly the best. What I love about social media is my ability to be exposed to it as long or as little as I want. I've taken myself off of social media for stints to just be. Nothing more to it. I just wanted to turn off the social noise that can serve as a distraction. Real life requires my real attention. Selena Gomez apparently hasn't been on the internet in over 4 years. She made that decision largely because of the overwhelming cyber mobs that were at every turn. If we could just control ourselves, we'd end up in a happier place. Imagine if there was no need for community and safety guidelines because people just did the right thing. That's never going to happen because definitions of safety, security, and even happiness vary too widely. But each person can try. So if you're on social media or the internet in general, cyber thugging through your clicks, stop. If you're on social media enjoying the crap show of a cyber mob, stop. I would encourage you to fulfill your day with meaningful real-world events that make life better. Cyber thugs, I hope you consider quitting that job of incessantly following people today. Cyber mob leaders, it's time to stop spreading their alternate reality to others, getting them roped into real-world consequences. Long story short, be careful who you click with. Be safe, everyone, and don't forget to shock the world. Again, I'm Jennifer Dr. J. Thibeaux, and this has been an audio article from the Dr. J blog. You can always find it at jenniferthibeaux.com.